Know Thy Enemy.
It is time for our Know Thy Enemy segment here on the main event. This is the main stage. All right, so we got Guy and CJ from the CNG podcast, Chicago Bears super fans. But we'd like to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. We're going to talk about this matchup next Sunday with the Bears against the Lions. First thing we want to get into with you guys is just kind of introduce yourself and tell us what you're all about.
What's going on, everybody? We're the CNG podcast. We're Bears fans. We're Bulls fans. We also support small businesses. We also support artists, entertainers. We just the football guys that's trying to build a platform for anyone that loves to talk football, love to talk basketball, and just want to get their thoughts out there. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on IG, we're on YouTube, we're everywhere.
So what we're going to do is kick this over to our panel, guys, and we're going to ask you some questions about the Chicago Bears and their chances against the Detroit Lions next week. We're going to start with our question out on the West Coast, our West Coast stat master at Greg Rice 20. Greg, say hello to the fellas and ask them what you got for them today.
What is up, guys? Specifically, what's up, Guy? What's up, CJ? You know, it's funny.
What's up, Greg?
Just chilling out. You know, it's funny. Our first interaction, you threw up a Facebook short, and it was me being completely judgmental of Justin Fields, kind of downplaying him. I absolutely rescind that, Mark. Justin Fields these last 3 weeks has looked like a totally new guy, and I think the NFL fans all over have kind of taken a step back on any sort of Fields criticism. My first question, I guess I'll ask Guy on this first question. What exactly are your thoughts on Khalil Herbert? I'm going to be real with you. Him and Tony Pollard are my favorite running backs, especially these up-and-coming running backs in the NFL. Will Herbert overtake Montgomery as RB1?
I think he will. It just depends on who can do what, who can do it quicker, who can hit a hole quicker, who's more disciplined, who has more vision. And it looks like it's been Herbert not since Eberflus been a coach, but since Matt Nagy was here last year.
Yep.
As soon as we drafted Khalil Herbert, he was shooting off my TV. He was shooting film, decent film every week. He was doing something quicker and more disciplined and faster than Montgomery. So I think it's Montgomery. He's going to end up being. Herbert's going to end up being starting running back sooner rather than later. And plus, Montgomery is coming up on a contract year. This is a contract year, so why not just save that money and just give it to Herbert to answer your question.
CJ, do you want to comment on that?
No, I definitely agree with Guy. Herbert is more of a runner that goes to the outside. He hits the hole. He's very patient with the offensive line, and you got Montgomery. He's more of an inside runner, more downhill. So definitely Herbert is more flashy and he jumps out at the screen. Definitely. With Montgomery, he's more of a hard runner.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely do seem to complement each other, don't they?
They complement. You can wear teams down with both of them. Mm-hmm.
Maybe Chicago will keep both of those running backs. Greg, give him another one.
I'm not opposed to it.
All right, you guys. Hey, I just got to ask the question right now. Thinking back on what I consider glorious days, probably what you look on as kind of depressing days. Thinking back on Chris Conte and Major Wright. Let's talk about your new safety duo with Brisker and Eddie Jackson. Is this not the best? I consider it one of the best safety duos in the league. Is this the best safety duo you've ever seen Chicago put on the field in this short take?
CJ, go ahead.
I'm gonna say that's kind of premature to say because they've only been in like 8 games, so they would have to play to me a season or maybe 2 seasons for me to really go off of what I've seen, because you can't really say Mike Brown. You can't really put Brisker to Mike Brown. Bright has done so much for this franchise for a long period of time. Even a guy like Chris Harris. So it's premature to say that.
Okay.
I'm gonna disagree with my partner. I'm gonna say yes, it is. Say yes, it is, because I don't remember Mike Brown coming in and to me looking like an All-Pro and defensive rookie of the year all in his rookie season. Roquon Brisker is looking like a defensive rookie of the year and an All-Pro in his first season, with Eddie Jackson back there with 4 interceptions on the year. So to me, so far, this does look like our best safety tandem that we probably ever had right now, for sure. It's a no-fly zone up there.
That's right.
I agree. Jaquan Brisker definitely looks awesome, but I'd be awful hard
It's
to
crazy.
pry that defensive rookie of the year away from Sauce Gardner at this point in the season.
Oh yeah, Gardner's
and
nice.
I don't think either one of these guys have shown me Gary Fensick yet. So I mean, some of the great safeties and guys that have played in the secondary for Chicago, definitely looking good as rookies though for sure. Melvin G, you got a question for the Bears fans?
Yeah. First off, I want to say what up, fellas, and definitely agree with you on Herbert over Montgomery. It seems like nowadays, the smarter teams, you're just not going to spend that money on a running back. And Davis probably going to want more than they're going to want to spend. But piggybacking off of the safety talk, who is the best rookie safety in the league right now, and why is it Kirby Joseph?
It's definitely not Kirby Joseph. I'm sorry. It's definitely not Kirby. It's definitely Jaquan Brisker. That's just being objective and transparent, man. Like no rookie outside of maybe Gardner, or he's playing corner, but there's no rookie safety out there better than Jaquan right now. And the stats and the numbers back that up. He's not even allowing 100 yards past him all season, and no touchdowns at this point. Like it's ridiculous at this point.
Right. Were you an Illini fan?
No.
Okay, so Kirby Joseph don't mean squat to you. CJ,
not at all.
Was you an Illini fan?
Nope.
Yeah, I was, and Kirby Joseph is a good player, but I haven't seen him, too much this year. So, I live in the South Gulf Coast area, so I haven't really seen too much of him.
Okay.
I've been seeing a lot of Saints and stuff like that.
That's right.
The kid just recently, started getting that starting nod and whatnot. But the last 3 games, he's had 2 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, and what was 3 pass breakups. So
yeah,
I mean, the kid's balling. Had 10 tackles yesterday, so I mean, he's balling.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's right.
Now our producer Russ Wayne, I know you had some questions for these guys, for these Bears fans. What do you got for them?
Well, yeah, I'm a longtime Buckeye fan, and I have been pulling for Justin Fields to do something, and there's a stigma that there are no good Ohio State quarterbacks ever. Is Justin Fields going to be the one that is going to change this QB narrative for Ohio State?
He's changing it already. Go ahead, go ahead, CJ, but he's changing it already.
I was gonna say, as long as the Bears stick to the game plan and keep running the same system that they're doing right now. I mean, they've been running that system for the last 3 to 4 weeks, and we've been seeing a huge growth since they made that change. So as long as they stick to Justin Fields' strengths, I think he can definitely get to that.
Yeah, and he's not just a running quarterback. I think he's just a weapon. You'll be a fool not to use his legs. Every throw yesterday he threw to the ones that he needed to make were over 16 yards, 14 yards, 18 yards to Kmet and Mooney. So people trying to say he can't throw the ball, he doesn't have enough passing yards, that's going to come. You just got to give it time that the offensive coordinator and the Ryan Poles to build around him. But he definitely has every weapon the quarterback should have. Mental toughness, physical toughness. The guy was out there getting sacked and doing push-ups on the field. He has every intangible that you could think of as far as being a budding franchise quarterback. So I just see him doing more and being great. Broke Michael Vick record yesterday. So let's keep on going.
Yeah.
It's my quarterback.
These last 3 weeks,
Thank
he's
you very
looked
much.
great. But there were some times when, like last year and a couple of games at the beginning of this year, he was looking pretty rough. Some of his accuracy was pretty bad, and he was catching a lot of heat from the national media and from the Bears fans themselves. But he is really starting to come on, and for Russ's sake, maybe he can break that Ohio State. I'm sorry, what was it, Russ? A stigma?
And everybody
No, I think that's a historical fact, Russ, that Ohio
it was,
State
man, it is.
have washed out in the NFL. That's not a stigma. So he's definitely working towards that for you, though, Russ. So your beloved Buckeyes can have something to brag about in the pros at the quarterback position. So
and the whole North got to pay attention. The whole North got to pay attention to that kid. He's looking like he's going to be the best quarterback in the division sooner rather than later. So let's go ahead and just admit that right now, because Goff, he's not it. Aaron Rodgers looked like he quit on his team. He's not on his psychedelic drugs this season, so it looks like he's just a regular person. And we know what Kirk Cousins is. He's having a great season, but he'll have a meltdown. So Justin Fields looks like he's going to be the king of the North here soon.
We're all expecting that Vikings meltdown.
Yes, we are.
That's one thing we all
Can't wait
count
for
on.
it.
Before we get into those matchups, though, I want to ask you guys one more question, and that is the Robert Quinn trade and the Roquon Smith trade. I want you guys to make sense of it for me and for our viewers. Why would the Bears get rid of two high-caliber defensive pieces like that 8 weeks into the season?
I can go ahead and I can answer that. Going into Robert Quinn first, you got a guy that the previous regime overpaid. To me, when they first got him, he was 31 years old, and they paid him all that money. 5 years, $70 million. That's a lot of money. So I was really against that to start with. So, yes, he had 18 sacks the previous season, but it seemed like this year he wasn't on the field as much. He played maybe 1 or 2 games, and he didn't play a lot of snaps. So it's like we had to get rid of him at some point. We had to dump that contract at some point. Now, going into Roquon Smith is a good cover linebacker. But the thing is with the Chicago Bears is that they front four is so terrible, they can't get to the quarterback. They can't pressure the quarterback. And that was a problem. And even when Roquon was out there, it was a problem because they wasn't generating turnovers, in the front four. So, they had to make a decision. And then also him not having a agent, as far as regarding his contract moving forward, and he wanted $25 million. Like, it's kind of, you know what I mean? So cover linebackers, they may not be easy to get, but I think with the Bears and how they're moving forward, they may just focus on the front four as being that star front four, and they may just have solid, decent linebackers moving forward.
Yeah, and I agree with CJ just to piggyback off what he said. And for the first time, it looks like in the Bears' history, they're pivoting from paying a defensive guy all their money and they're looking towards to actually building around their quarterback. And you saw that with the Chase Claypool trade, giving up that second-round pick for a wide receiver, which is our wide receiver core at its core is high school football teamish. Only person that's on that team that's shown to be any good has been Darnell Mooney. So for the Chicago Bears, welcome to the modern NFL where teams build around their rookie quarterback with a gang of money. Cap space will have $134 million next year. We have a ton of draft picks next year. And you get Justin Fields, a wide receiver now to build chemistry with for the rest of the season. I've never seen this from a Chicago Bulls organization my whole life. Chicago Bears organization my whole life. Yeah, Bears. So they're doing the right thing. We finally pivoted. They give a linebacker $100 million. Now we can't afford to pay for offensive line if we need one. So it was a great trade, man. I love what Ryan Post did with that.
Okay. That actually brings me to my next question, Guy. You are the GM of the Bears, and it's draft day. What do the Bears need to put pieces around Justin Field and make this team better on draft day? Where would you go?
Well, first of all, as much as I love the offense, I'm a defensive guy. So, like CJ told you guys, our front four is terrible. There's no Robert Quinn. There's no Khalil Mack. There's no Pernell McPhee. There's no Bilal Nichols. I'm going defense. My first round pick, I'm going to defensive tackle. I'm drafting the defensive tackle, first pick out the gate. Yeah, I'm going defense, man, for sure. That front four is terrible. That's disgusting.
Okay, so what are you going? First round? You're going to go D tackle or defensive end? What do you think?
I'm going D tackle. We got to stop the run, man. We still got Dalvin. What's the guy? Dalvin Cook in Minnesota. We got to stop the run, man. We cannot stop the run for nothing. So
out of the 4 draft picks, you like going predominantly defense then next year?
I'm gonna go defense first. I'm gonna go offensive line. I'm gonna go wide receiver. Then I'm going to safety. Because if they're not going to keep Eddie Jackson, you have to draft the safety. I think he's on his 3rd contract, so I don't think he's going to get the 4th one. So we're going to have to find his replacement in this draft. I'm giving Ryan Poles 1 free agency, and I'm giving him 1 draft, the next draft, to build this team to contention at least for the playoffs next year and the division to win it.
What is the most intriguing matchup for you against the Lions? Will it be your thin receivers against our shaky secondary, your terrible defensive front against our great offensive line? What do you think is the most intriguing matchup there, CJ?
I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be the wide receivers, because I think that's what everybody's gonna be looking forward to. As far as the running game, it seems like Justin is the head of that. I don't know if the Bears are going to run the ball, Montgomery and Herbert. I would want to see that, but it seems like people have not figured out how to stop Justin Fields from getting all these rushing yards. So until they do that, that's what they're going to continue to do.
Okay. What about you, Guy? What's the most intriguing matchup against the Lions for the Bears?
Oh, it's going to be Justin Fields versus you guys' defense. He's becoming a weapon, man, whether people want to admit it or not, with his arm and his legs. And he's getting out that pocket, man. And then I just want to see him continue to grow, man. If he continues to put up 30 points again and we get a win, you know, I could probably really say that he's the guy. But I'm gonna just go with Justin Fields. He's entertaining, man. So I love to see him out there entertaining me. So I'm going with Justin Fields versus the Detroit Lions whole defense, man.
Greg Rice, same question for you, Greg. What intrigues you about this matchup? No sound. You got no sound. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. Shout out to Verizon. All right. So my most intriguing matchup, you guys, is I just want to continue to see Jeff Okudah develop, and I can't think of a better, more charismatic, got a little bit of shit talking edge to him than Chase Claypool. I want to see Okudah on Claypool. I think this is going to be a great matchup. Okudah has gone up against a lot of good number ones and number twos, and has got the better of them, you know. And I think Chase Claypool provides that edge. He's got that shifting. He's just a good receiver, you know, and he kind of got the short end of the stick coming out of Pittsburgh, a team known to draft wide receivers and develop them like no other team I've seen in the last 10, 15 years. So I'm excited to see Okudah versus Claypool and see how this lines up. And I just want to give a shout out to the Bears fans. Hey, look, man, I saw that Claypool PI yesterday. You guys got robbed on that call. Straight up, that was a pass interference. It changed the dynamic of the game. Personally, I don't think Claypool holds on to that ball because Javon Holland is going to absolutely rock him. But that was absolutely a PI. So another bad ref call. You guys got shafted. But I want to see Claypool versus Okudah.
Right on. Russ Wayne, any intriguing matchups stick out to you?
Oh, I think you hit the nail right on the head a little bit earlier, where it was the offensive line versus that bad defensive line. Because if they can control the line of scrimmage, that really, to me, is the key to winning the game. Is if we can control time of possession and run the ball down their throats and keep Justin Fields, that playmaker, off of the field and keep him from running all over the place against our bad defense.
Right on. Melvin G, Detroit Jesus. Give us a good take on an intriguing matchup for this game.
Look, it's our defense versus their entire offense. You know what I mean? Was last week just, you know, this last Sunday just Green Bay that bad, or, you know, did this defense take a step forward? That remains to be seen. Actually, you know, I'm more interested in a duel more than a matchup. And I want to see these young rookie motherfucking safeties, man. I want to see Brisker and Joseph, and I want to see these boys ball out, and so we can come back to the discussion at the end of the game, man.
Right on. That's a great point. Maybe the Lions defense took a step forward from 32 to 31 in the league. That would be great. But that's a great call out. Thanks for that take, Melvin. It's time now. We're going to go to predictions, and we're going to let our guests go first, and then we're going to say goodbye to them so y'all don't have to sit here and watch us be homers for the Lions. So, CJ, I'm going to start with you. I'd like you to give me a prediction on who wins the game and give me a score, please.
Well, the Bears are going to win this game. We're not going to do what Green Bay did last week. And I got the Bears winning this game. I'm going to say 35-24.
35-24. All right. Thank you so much for that. Guy, what do you got for the Bears? Give me a winner and a score.
I'm going Bears, man. I'm going 35-31. I think that what's going to happen is that Claypool's actually going to get a pass interference call this week. They're not going to mess up that again this week. So that's going to be our saving grace, and we're going to win the game 35-31 Bears.
Man, that's all right. Thank you. So both of you got.
See, I don't like that they have him winning, but I like that.
Ahead,
I like
Melvin.
his score a lot better than CJ's, man. I like his score a lot better. Like, I feel like CJ's was a little shade towards our offense a little bit, man.
Hey, but kudos to you guys, man. You guys beat Green Bay. Hey, you guys did that. So I have to say kudos to you guys for that.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
I was going to make a joke about Justin Fields' passing ability, but it'd probably go right over your head. But anyway, thanks so much, guys. CJ and Guy from the CNG podcast. Be sure for our viewers to check them out and listen to that Chicago Bears flavor and that Chicago Bulls flavor that they bring to the internet. Thank you so much, guys, for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Know thy enemy.